lot more true center. She opens up around her, lower about her rib cage, and I appreciate that. That Kaitlyn's one I sure like when she came in class. One that's super extended. I love the basic looking kind of that hog. And simply like to open her up in terms of her rib shape, particularly as her elbow ties into that forerib. For me, one that just doesn't have her rear too quite with the authority I'd like. She gets her feet up under her a little more than I simply like to lengthen her hip so she could take a longer stride off of her back end. 3 nice hogs on the top end. The hog that's going to drop out fourth is another one that I think is awfully good in this class. One again that has that extra stretch and extra length of body. For me though, I think one that when you really get into this hog coming at you, she's too straight in her knees. She's too straight bucked forward in her shoulder. She's got to be sounder in terms of her movement. Sure like to drop more power in that hog in terms of basic flank and feel. The hog that's coming next, same situation. For me, one that I appreciate from the standpoint of having some top shape, but too narrow gauged underneath. She's big top. She's just got to carry that width down to the ground to have more true skeletal width for me. The barrow that's going to drop out next, a little more conventional, if you will, in terms of his basic kind. He's one for me that simply needs to be taller fronted. He's got to be one that needs to be more attractive right up through his front end for me to get higher in the drive. He's one that's starting to soften quite a bit as you get into this guy, and I think you got to project him down the road where he's really going to fit in terms of his endpoint market weight. The erector hog dropping out next. Here's one that's sure got some power in terms of the seat of his pants. You like that guy in terms of one who's got some extra hip in him. But we can all see as he tracks away from you, he really convexes in down low. He's one that's got to be opened up on the ground. I'd simply like to make him more attractive through the front third of his skeleton. See that hog be a little later in his maturity. Here comes one of those that has that advantage. Sure, a lot more angular fronted, more extended hog is a lot later in his maturity pattern. But when you get into that hog going away from you, just way too narrow gauge for me. Got to be wider base, got to be opened up through its knee, got to have more flank and feel in it for me. The hog that's going to drop out next, another one I appreciate from the standpoint of extra length of body. Sure got a shot more bone in that hog, and I appreciate it. But again, you get behind the hog, and it's just too narrow gauged underneath. It wants to cave in a little bit down right on the ground. Got to be a lot sounder as it hits the ground off its rear too for me. The hog that's going to drop out next, another one I think you have to appreciate in this class from a standpoint of having some power. But for me, one that's just got to be a lot fresher in his basic kind. He's one that, again, that's just too straight and he's hot behind. It's got some tissue and swelling in those joints. Going to have a little trim loss in that guy.
Clayton Schmidt's recording. She's recording Kaitlyn for their Instagram page. Probably because she thinks Kaitlyn's gonna win, so she doesn't get it on the call. She'll be like, yes, Kelly won. This judge person's kind of intimidating. She just like squishes the sheep. Yeah. Yes, oh my god. She just needs to make it to one more. Okay, kick out that like Valley Center kid or like the Fallbrook kid.
The first person.
Wait, if there's ever being Fallbrook, why is Miss Bueno here?
She couldn't get a job there.
Don't do it.
No.
That's stupid. Hers was the best sheep.
I know.
Well, another nice class here. The young ladies lamb that's going to win the class is the one that combines some meat animal shape with some freshness of hand. Some look from the side, just a real complete kind of lamb, and in my opinion serves this to the top pretty easily. And then you get to kind of make some personal calls in terms of what better fits your your likes, and from an industry standpoint, I think the lamb that I'm going to go ahead and use in second is the one that offers the next most good. Because here's one that's a little bit bigger in kind, a little bit longer, level all the way through, and definitely has the trimness advantage. So when we take these to the rail from a cutability standpoint, here's the lamb that's going to offer the most positives from that standpoint. Is he just a little bit stale? Yes. Is he a little washed out over his loin edge? Yes. I'd like to correct those things about him in terms of making him just a notch better. But still, I think he offers the next most good from a market standpoint to go ahead and slide into that second place hole. Young lady's going to be third out here, has one that's really fresh bodied. You appreciate that about him. One that's a little bit softer to the touch, carrying just a notch more finish on him as you handle him over his lower rib. Maybe doesn't have quite the same shape and power, especially over his loin, as the pair that placed ahead of him. The young lady that's going to come next out here has one that you appreciate the basic build, is square out of his dock, is one that has some shape, but it's, again, one that's maybe a little bit smaller in terms of her type and kind, and carrying just a notch more finish on her. The blue lamb that we got coming next is one that's long and extended, and when this young lady gets him stopped and put together, he's one that handles with a lot of shape up high. Unfortunately, he put this lamb on the go. He's really refined and fine-boned. He wants to really play out from behind, and when he's on the move, he just falls apart from a balance standpoint. Young man that's going to come next year has one that, again, has some advantage in terms of length of bone on, one that you